Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jarabi Therian bringing you another episode of Gyakuten Live. In the last episode, we conducted our investigation into what is the second case of this game. So Karin was accused of printing out VIP tickets despite all of them being handed out to the people who, I'm guessing, paid for them, to these live idol shows. But someone seems to have printed 2 extra copies of it. So Karin is basically our client right now, and we're trying to defend her from the accusations of printing out those tickets. In the process of the investigation, we met familiar faces and some new characters, surprisingly enough, like Shiro-san and Hoto-san, both of Karin's assistants, or I forgot what they were called, but they're basically like her agents who ensure that she's not doing anything wrong, while she's a model and such. And then we also got this new mechanic that's called the Psyche locks, which are apparently part of the Ace Attorney games. It's actually a mechanic within those games. So yeah, I did have a bit of trouble with it, but basically I have to present the person hiding the truth with evidence that will break these locks so that they'll finally tell us the truth. I'm wondering if that's gonna be, a thing that occurs within, in the middle of the trial, because we are going to go into the trial next, because we investigated everything that we could. But yeah, I did enjoy the investigation. I liked the jokes that occurred within it, the Pokemon capsule stuff. I might have missed out on a few, but the things I managed to get were pretty funny, especially the Jigglypuff one. That was a funny one. That I made a Yumu into such an angry person when you mistaken Jigglypuff for Kirby.
Come on, Yumu, come on! Okay? They're basically the same. They're both round, they're both jiggly, and they both kind of have the same kind of feet too. No, Yu-chan! Jigglypuff and Kirby are not one and the same! Alright, yield to Yumu. Jeez, Pokemon fans are something else.
So yeah, I do have some theories as to what this trial is going to be about, what is the truth behind this entire case. So they pointed out the fact that you need a student ID to print out the tickets, and you need authorization from you herself in order to do so. So I'm guessing Karin went to the printer room to print out her homework, and she somehow left her phone there. And apparently, whoever went into that room afterwards might have used her phone to access the printer and then print out the tickets and such. Now, here's the thing. So whoever did it must have done so after Karin left the practice room, because she left the practice room to go to the club room. So she went to her club room the first time to get some kind of jump drive which had her homework on it, and then went to the printing room to print out her homework. And then she went back to the club room to drop it off before she went back into practice room. So the crime must have occurred in between the time Karin left the printing room the first time and went back to the club room. That must have been the time frame in which the crime could have happened. Actually, no, think about it, I might have been wrong. I might be wrong at that one too, because I think the crime happened a day after Karin used the printer room, so it has to be sometime the day afterward, after Karin did what she did. I'm just wondering who that could have been. It has to have been someone who knew Karin went there, I think. It has to be that, which means it's very hard to get my theories on, because I might be wrong about things, but I'm having a feeling that it's actually Rena. I feel like it's Rena somehow, because she's the one. It has to be someone who knew how the printers work. It couldn't have been Shioriko. I'm sorry, I got Shioriko's name wrong the entire time. It's Shioriko, not Shiroko. But yeah, I feel like it is Rena somehow. Either her or I. It has to be either of those two, because I feel like if that's the case. If not, then maybe it's one of Karin's agents and such. But I'm gonna be honest, I find it kind of hard to believe, because the agents don't seem like they work for Nijigasaki. So how would they know how the printer worked? How would they know how things work there? How did they even get into the school without people noticing them? Especially with that big camera that's in the middle of the hallway. Certainly someone would have picked that up. So whoever went into the printer room must have done so after Karin, a day after Karin went. Which means they must have known, somehow, that phone was Karin's then. They had to have known. There had to have been a lock screen on that phone. If it was left there for an entire day, certainly it would remain unlocked, and no one would be able to use it, except for Karin. unless there's someone who also has a way to access her phone. I feel like that's how it should work. So who would have like had access to Karin's like password and such? I feel like that's gonna be important. It can't be Emma again. There's no way it's gonna be Emma after she got like acquitted for the whole bread incident. It must be someone who's close to Karin, so it has to be either Rena or I. There's no other person I can think of. But as with most attorney games, apparently, like I've been like trying to look at Let's Plays of these attorney games. So you can have your own intuition as to what happened with the crime, your first intuition, and your own gut feeling about what might have happened. But that doesn't necessarily mean that your intuition is 100% correct. There might be factors that you may not know about. Because apparently, like, it seems like the prosecution has their own story of what happened. And so you have to counter whatever counter they do to your, evidence showing. So that means Dia must know something that we don't. That's what I believe. So she'll show it. She'll show it to us when she counters our deductions. And then we have to counter her counters. So obviously, my story so far of what I think happened in the printer room might not be 100% true. There might be something that will completely change the story. In which case, okay, now if I approach it like that, then I should not be frustrated with this trial. There's no way I should be. I just have to take it slow and not get too mad about things. Just think about things slowly and calmly, because I genuinely do want to, go through a trial without getting mad. At least, I know it's the first time, but I really don't want it to happen a second time. So, let's get started with this episode, shall we? I'm sorry it took me so long to explain this, but I feel like I gotta make sure I get this right before I start the trial. So, let's continue on with the story, shall we? Okay, so this is this one, right? Yeah. Alright, let's get started. Birth of Turnabout Trial Part 2. Load. Oh, fuck. Shit. Oh no, don't tell me I can't load it. Why can I not load it? I should be able to continue it. Oh, is there something wrong with the save files? Hold on. No way. What's wrong with the save files? God dang it, what's going on with the fucking... Hold on, I'll ask Prakalik about this. I'm going to actually ask her about this, because there's something wrong here. I'm trying to load, but it seems like I can't load for some reason, and this error code is showing up. Okay, whoopsies guys. Oh, apparently this was the right one. Invitation to Turnabout. Birth of Turnabout was chapter 1, which is why the whole thing wasn't working. This is the correct one. Whoopsies. Oh my god, I'm gonna put that in the actual recording session. My god, I'm so stupid. Alright, let's get started with the trial, shall we?
May 13th, 11:48 a.m., defendant lobby! Oh boy, the time has come for me to finally get fucked as usual. And not in the style that the Yuba does. The actual literal, well actually, technically it's not really literal, but the figurative, if you know what I mean. It's been 2 months since I was last here for a trial, when I got my ass whooped. But it feels like it's only been a few days. I don't think I'll ever get used to this feeling of dread. My opponent being Dia-san doesn't make things any easier for me. This will certainly be my toughest challenge yet. Why so Clown Chum? This should be fun. Jolly old game of court, right? Even though this isn't the real trial, I can't be slacking. These trials get broadcast for the world to see. I got to at least try to show that Nijikasaki can stand up to Uran Hoshi.
Really? It's broadcast to the entire world? Do people even care about this shit? I feel like it's just girls just imitating lawyer stuff. The wacky lawyer stuff. Now that I think about it, it's one thing I'm starting to notice is that we don't have any wacky characters participating in these trials. Unless the Nijikasaki girls actually count as wacky characters. Which, I guess so, if you think about it that way.
Deep breaths, you. That's what Shuta-san always tells me to do before we photo shoot. Come on, Yu-chan, you've got this. You're gonna put Dia-san in her place today. I don't know if... Repeat after me! I, Takasaki Yu, shall overcome all opposition in court today. Shall overcome... I don't know if we can do it, Yu. It's just that the moment they mentioned access records, I might fall to my knees and cry. I can't do it. No good? Shucks. It's fine. I thank you for the encouragement. Oh, I know. I'll hold your hand during trial so you won't be afraid. I appreciate it, but not necessary. That said, I do have a nagging desire to find the truth. Who really printed those tickets? What do they want with them? Where are the tickets now? And why did they make it look like Karin did it? If nothing, this drive is one of those things that keeps me going. Yes, that's it. This is what I'm aiming for. May 13th, 12 p.m., courtroom!
Alright, go do this again with not a sign.
Court is in session for the trial of Osaka Karin. The defense is ready, Your Honor. I'm ready to get my ass kicked. I'm gonna do this like a cool ellipses that most prosecutors do. Aren't I cool? Aren't I beautiful? Prosecution, are you prepared to present your opening statements? Shikisaki, Otonokisaka, Urohoshi. There can only be one. The pinnacle is not a position that can be shared. Here we go. Of course I'm prepared. That isn't even a question. I got my sword right here, ready to kill anyone who gets in my way. The better question is, how long could you, Takesaki Yuji-san, manage to stay in the game before collapsing like a house of cards? I think my eardrums will collapse in on themselves listening to you before anything else. Well, whenever you're ready, prosecution, the stage is yours. Certainly.
Oh my gosh, she's actually doing the same animation as Varden Karma. Oh my god, now the voice is very fitting for her.
Certainly. It's time for the beginning of the end, my dear gallery. I regret to inform you, but today, your President Shikisaki of 6,102 students shall bow before Urohoshi, which is fewer than 100. That much is certain. Wait, but Dad, don't you have like 98 students? Shut up, okay? That anime is not canon. I swear to God it isn't. Today, I will prove not only that the defendant, Karin Osaka, is guilty of the crime, but also the veracity of quality over quantity. Just give the damn opening statement already. Get on with it! The incident occurred on May 11th, during the Nijikisaki School Idol Club's practice session. There was a break that lasted from 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. It is believed that the crime occurred during this time. The suspect, Osaka Karin, is believed to have taken the opportunity to traverse to the printing room to print an unauthorized pair of VIP tickets. And that ridiculously mundane crime is why I'm here today. The prosecution shall prove without a shadow of a doubt that Osaka Karin is the one responsible for this incident. Acknowledge. Are you aware of any possible motives? We have. After a minor background check, it was discovered that the defendant works with 2 producers for her job. The current belief is that the tickets were printed to be given to them. Well, Yu-chan, you were right on the money when you said that the prosecution would dig that info up. Rats, and the producers told me that giving them the tickets is probably not against Karin's contract. Prosecution, what evidence do you have that ties the defendant to this crime? Now, I have to give credit where it's due. I didn't find the smoking gun in our case. The former prosecution with the humorlessly but delightfully oversized bow in her hair was the one that found it.
Michizuku? She has a bow in her hair? I think she does. I don't recall it being massive.
She must be talking about Shizuku-chan. In that case, their smoking gun is Karin's cell phone, right? I think so. Rina-chan did say that the phone was what got Karin-san nabbed. Unfortunately, since our beloved isn't involved in this case anymore, I shall pass the responsibility of explaining the find to my amusingly yet adorable small detective.
You mean Rina? Okay, why don't you just call them by their names?
Very well. I don't need to call them by their names. I'm too cool for that.
Alright, Rina.
Goddamn, she's so fucking cute with that weird board of hers. Usually this is when the prosecution asks the witness's name and occupation. Quiet! It might be able to hear us. Huh? Everyone, remain calm. Our detective seems to have been possessed by an evil mechanical menace. You lot! Call the military! And the robot on her face is no match for a tank! Meanwhile, I shall heroically remove the plastic device using my katana. Minor limitations may result, but it is unavoidable. Oh, don't worry. This is my Rina-chan board. Come again? Rina-chan, what now? I made it myself. It is a device that helps me show my true feelings, which I am not very good at, sorry. It's got all these features, but the main thing is a bunch of programs, facial expressions that help everyone to understand my emotions. Don't worry though, it can't hurt you. Wait, what? No, I didn't see anything. I see. And here I thought the notebook was peculiar as it could get. Especially with how you managed to flip it to the page that you needed for your emotions and such. Like, I swear to God, I blinked once and suddenly you're frowning when you were happy like seconds ago. That's truly the biggest mystery here. Anyway, you were called upon to present the evidence you were found. Are you ready? I am. Shall we begin?
Oh boy, here we go. Witness testimony. What was found?
An email was sent out on the day of the crime. It said that there were more VIP tickets than available VIP ticket seats. Shizuku-chan was the one who first noticed it. She concluded it meant that someone had printed out VIP tickets without notifying anyone. We managed to narrow down the time of the tickets being printed between 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., which was during the practice break. The defendant's phone was concluded to have been left in that room around the same time as the tickets were printed. She must have done so with her ID on her phone. This places the defendant in the printing room at the time of the crime, and since a club member's ID is required to print the tickets, it could have been anyone outside of the club.
Yeah, nothing wrong with this one, either.
So, in essence, there are only a handful of people who have the clearance to print VIP tickets, and the only person of the small group that had the opportunity to print the tickets was the defendant. Understood? That's right. Is there anything else I should go over? Actually, I do have one question. Earlier you said that you narrowed down the time of the crime to between 4 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. How do you know that? It's like this, see? The computer systems don't constantly check whether there are an excess number of tickets. For efficiency, it only checks it every half hour. The emails were sent out at 4:30 on the day of the crime. That means the tickets must have been printed out within that previous half-hour interval. Although, since everyone was just getting back into the practice room at that time, nobody really noticed that email until Shizuku-chan did the next day. I don't really care for that stuff to open that system email. What about you? To be fair, I don't think any of us really paid attention to that email. I'm glad we have someone on top of things like Shizuku-chan then. Listen to that testimony. It seems sound, but all they provided is circumstantial evidence so far. There are few gaps I can see here. But at the same time, perhaps they're just getting warmed up. Daisan won't be foolish enough to leave such a void in her case, right? I mean, right? I'm not getting baited, right?
Alright, what was found? An email was sent out on the day of the crime. It said that there were more VIP tickets than available seats. Okay, press on that.
Can you clarify what that means for the rest of the court? Of course. The data for the tickets is stored in the school's database, see? The computers keep track of how many VIP tickets there are versus how many VIP tickets are in circulation. If the number of tickets exceeds the number of seats, an email will be sent to all our club members, warning us of the problem. And that's how we found out that the VIP tickets were printed. If the threshold hadn't been exceeded, we would never have known. Thank you for the explanation. Does anyone have any objections to these statements? I do. My objection is that this school is over-engineered to the point of senselessness. All these intricacies are the reasons for your downfall. Whatever happened to good old-fashioned walk up to someone and ask them face-to-face? That's what we do, and it'd be a million times simpler. Because you guys all live within walking distance of each other. If I was to draw a map of your little rural neighborhood, it'd be the actual size.
Shizuku-chan was the one who first noticed. She concluded it meant that someone had printed out VIP tickets without notifying anyone. Okay?
Would there possibly be another explanation for the computer system's behavior? Let's see. The only other way I can think of is if the number of VIP tickets was reduced somehow within the relevant time interval. Son, you didn't secretly lower the number of seats by 2 during the break, right? Then that'd make you the culprit. No! If you did, I'll be sure to come back and tear you apart. Call me help whoever decides to take your case on. Call me help get me out of this situation.
I'm sorry, I'm a little too busy dealing with Mr. Popo right now.
Ah, damn it, of course, Mr. Popo, always getting in my way.
We managed to narrow down the time of the tickets being printed to between 4 p.m. and 4:30 p.m., which was during the practice break. Let's press on this first. There's something off about that statement, but I don't want to, move too fast.
To reiterate, you know that because of the interval in which the email was sent out, right? That's right. The system checks for VIP tickets going over the threshold every 30 minutes, and the email was sent out at 4:30 p.m., meaning that the tickets must have been printed out in the interval before it. That is, between 4 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. And that interval exactly overlaps with our break time. A very bad look for Karin-san.
Hold on, let me check something real quick, because something that's like, bugging me a little bit. Rina's cat taken during the break on the day of the crime at 4:12 p.m. It's tendency to avoid Setsuna. I don't think this is it. No. Let's not press it too hard. The defendant's phone was concluded to have been left in that room around the same time the tickets were printed. She must have used her ID on her phone.
And how do you figure that out? I wasn't the one who figured it out. Dia-san did. Dia-san, I'll pass you the mic. All the answer on you. My friends, nothing a little intuition couldn't solve. The intuition? Allow me to pretend the defendant's phone. She had misplaced it in the printing room until it was located by the one named Osaka Shizuku-san. Like any self-protecting mobile phone user, her phone has a lock screen.
Yeah, here it is.
That means we can't open her phone to verify most of the things that she was doing with it. However, any notifications she receives are displayed on the lock screen itself for all to see, including the time she received them. The defendant seems to be quite the popular person. She's gotten a multitude of missing calls and messages from Emma, Shuto-san, as well as an email sent out by the computer systems about the VIP tickets.
Yeah.
The earliest notifications were sent to her phone around 4:20 p.m. That means she must have lost her phone in the printing room, or at slightly before this time. Objection! That's a little bullshit! Hang on a second, that doesn't explain enough. Let's see, even though I'm aware that Karin-san lost her phone in the printing room at the time of the crime, this is where their case has gaps. If there's anything I can object to, it's this. So far, all you've established is that Karin-san had a bunch of unread notifications, and her phone happened to be found in the printing room. There's a possibility that the defendant simply didn't read the notification and lost the phone in there after the crime. How do you rule that out?
Oh, what the fuck? Idiotic! Oh my god, she actually does the Van Sake's, line. Oh my god.
Yes!
Oh my god, the cracker, actually fucking listen to me. He's not even gonna, pull out a chalice and just, throw it around and such. That would be so funny.
Idiotic! Tis tis, you must not have the high opinion of me. Let's correct that, shall we?
It looks like that Van Sake's quote was actually a Japanese thing. It might be the case. It's Ikiari must be, Japanese for objection.
Huh? I wasn't finished. I can think of at least 2 other reasons the phone must have been left there at the same time of the crime. 2 more?! No interruptions, defense. I'm currently in the middle of raining on your parade, and I'm going to send you into a hurricane. Number 1, the battery level. The battery level? I have research to make and model the defendant's cell phone. Oh my god, she actually go that far? I know the battery capacity, I know train rate, and factored in the battery level that the phone was at when it was discovered. In addition, among the plethora of notifications we could see on the lock screen was a low battery warning that pops up when a certain percentage of the battery is left, and we have this timestamp on that as well. My calculations indicate that these 4 factors align perfectly if we consider that the phone was never used at the time of the crime. Okay, I'm kind of lost with this calculus bullshit. Number 2, the fingerprints on the phone, or lack thereof. Do you check for fingerprints?
Oh my god, wow. This is 3 levels above Shizuku.
I may not have access to any of the databases for fingerprints like your fancy little clubroom's door handles, but there's still a few things someone like I can do. Namely, I can tell that the phone was almost completely devoid of fingerprints. And your conclusion from that is... Phones nowadays use touchscreens. You'd have to use your fingers to navigate the menus and whatnot. But during this time of the crime, the defendant was in her idol outfit. Her idol outfit includes gloves. That further supports the notion that the defendant had lost her phone in the printing room at the time of the crime. She had gloves on during that interval. With gloves like those, you'd be leaving a negative number of fingerprints, meaning even previous prints would be wiped off. If she had her phone with her when she left the printing room that day, you would have found fingerprints on it, but since it doesn't, the last time she must have had her phone was during the time and place of the crime. I have given you the total of 3 exhibits now: the notifications, the battery level, and the fingerprints. And I would like to remind the court that the tickets were printed out right around the time the phone was locked in the printing room. Please draw your own conclusions from that. Ah, god damn it, man! This woman does not mess around. I am so fucking screwed! Me and Tarabi both!
Yeah, I know you. We're so fucked.
Ugh, that was the roughest beating I've seen since Shioriko took out Nana-san in the elections. Why do we keep messing up her name? I don't get it. It's not like we played Blue Archive or anything. And she found all that out without a magic of Fuda. How am I supposed to fight her? Come on, you. Believe in Karin-san. If she was telling the truth, then you have to find a way around this.
Huh, okay, so... This is... That whole thing might have, like, thrown me off from what I was thinking about now with this whole testimony. So let's see. This places the defendant in the printing room at the time of the crime, and since the club's member's ID is required to print the tickets, it couldn't have been anyone outside of the club. Okay, that's not something I'm supposed to, counter, so let's press it.
Can you clarify what you mean by that? Let's see. How to put this into words. To print something in the printing room, a student or staff member must use their Nijigasaki Virtual ID, which is an app you can download onto your phone.
Yeah, none yet. So keep going.
Without your virtual ID, you won't be able to get any further than turning the printer on. You need to actually start printing stuff. However, the VIP tickets are special. To print them, your ID needs to match that of a school idol club members. Basically, our own club members can print them. The thing is, all available club members were at practice around the time of the crime. There are other printers on campus capable of printing the VIP tickets, but the only one close enough to the practice room that you could make the round trip is within the break time is the one in the hallway 306. How big is this damn school? Wasn't the break half an hour long? In a nutshell, all the people who possibly could have committed the crime were conglomerated in and around the hallway 306 at the time of the crime. We know that the crime must have happened in the printing room on hallway 306, and the defendant is the only person who appears to have gone to the printing room at that time. Besides what we know, I don't think I have any room to argument here.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I had a feeling that, that testimony was just so rock solid. There's nothing to counter it with.
I've heard enough. The prosecution has thoroughly demonstrated the defendant's role in this incident. I think the truth is becoming increasingly clear. Huh? That's it? Pity. I thought I told you to give me a good challenge. Alas, you failed me. No matter. This trial will be in my fond memories as the shortest and easiest case I've won. Hold it! Hang on. This isn't over yet. Don't be ridiculous. I've left no room for error. If you really want to drag this trial out for a final few pieces of precious memories, you'll have to show us why with evidence. Yu-chan, do you really have something up your sleeve? I've got to try. You just can't end like this. Come on, I'm back to a corner. I got to turn this around somehow. Gotta turn it...
Whatever that thing Pico sings all the time.
Gotta turn the case around. Defense, if you have any evidence to present, now would be the time. Yes, Your Honor, right away! I don't have to prove Karin-san innocent immediately. I just need to cast enough reasonable doubt on the prosecution's claims. Even if it's just to move a goalpost or force the prosecution to prove another thing, it's better than nothing. I got to reveal an angle that the prosecution hasn't considered. Although the prosecution hasn't proven that my client went to the printing room, this will recontextualize the whole situation.
They've proven that Karin went to the printer room, we think. We contextualize the whole situation. Oh wait, they said that she was going to the printer room, but they don't know that she was going to the club room, right? Is there the club room? Well, that's not relevant yet. We don't have the footage. Not Rita's cat. I don't think so. Oh, can't you get back out of the logs? No, I cannot. Okay. I really want to make sure I do this right, because I don't know. It's not the map, I don't think. Actually, well, yeah, maybe it's like Karin's bad sense of direction. Is it this? Damn it! I fucked it up. Oh wait, no, it is.
This will turn everything upside down, I think. I'll leave you explain yourself here, defense. Well, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's not right.
Not good enough.
Yeah, okay. That's not good. Angle that the prosecution hasn't considered. Reasonable doubt. I thought it would be the case that, Karin would not have known how to get there. But, Oh wait, no, maybe the records? Oh, the records, of course, I think. No, not that either. We could just say the whole situation. Like, what? The attendance sheet? No, well... Probably the attendance sheet. God damn it! Like, what am I missing here? Can I present care to people? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Like, it's not the map, it's not the... Is it the camera somehow? There's always a camera. Oh, wait, homework, I think. Of course, damn it, I should've known. I should've fucking known.
I would like the members of the court to look at this. This is the defendant's homework assignment due on the day of the crime.
Yeah, of course, I think that's what they missed. They missed the reason why she went there.
Why do you have that? Are you cheating? Academic disintegrity is grounds for suspension. Please stop talking like Shuta-san. No, my client had intended to try and submit it to her instructor late. And the relevance of this is... The prosecution has claimed that the defendant must have entered the printing room to print the VIP tickets. That's the basis of their entire case right now. But say there was an alternative explanation. For example, if the defendant went to the printing room to print not the VIP tickets, but instead her homework. Then that would perfectly explain why she was in the printing room. And just like that, the case turned in our favor. After 3 wrong attempts! God freaking damn it, we're off to a great start, aren't we, guys? Well done, Newton. You managed to escape the pickle barrel. I managed to what now? A meaningless effort. You realize this changes nothing, correct? The defendant printing out her homework makes no difference. It was a trivially easy matter for her to simply have printed both the tickets and her homework in the same visit to the printing room. She's not wrong, right? Wait, no, she's wrong. Sorry to say, prosecution, but this actually changes everything. All you've shown so far is that the defendant happened to be present around the place and time of the crime, with no definitive proof. I'd say there's enough reasonable doubt. If you want to claim that the defendant printed 2 sets of items, then it's on you to prove that she actually did so. Order! 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 Order to court! Not bad. You managed to see through my bluff. Looks like you have some fight in you after all. Take that, miss. I studied the blade. I'm impressed you managed to find that information. Naturally, I know about it as well, but I felt it wouldn't matter, as the defendant could have easily had printed the tickets and the homework together. But my task now is to further show how the defendant could have been the only possible culprit. Then so be it. We'll start by narrowing the time down. Witness, please testify about the defendant's motions about the time of the crime. Let's do it then.
Fucking Christ, I have like 2 more tries before I fucking lose. God dang it. I really wish there was a way I could like regen that health after each like correct answer. Please, I wish that was the case. Narrowing the time down.
According to the clubroom access records, the defendant went to the clubroom once at 4:05 and once at 4:20. The defendant needs to get a flash drive or something to print her homework, so you can reasonably deduce that she went to the clubroom at 4:05 to get it. You can then reasonably deduce that she probably went to the clubroom at 4:20 to drop her homework and VIP tickets off. Therefore, she must have gone to the printing room between 4:05 and 4:20. Since the printing room is only a step away from the clubroom, she most likely was there the whole 15 minutes. And, according to the printer records, the printer was only used at 4:10 p.m. and at no other time.
Okay, Jesus Christ, it's gonna be another rock solid one. Either your writing is so good, Crackalack, or I'm just dumb. There's no way I'm gonna be able to, like, crack through this one.
Say that again. Printer records? Oh god, no! Please, no! Not another version of the records, please, no! Oh, not this crap again, for fuck's sakes! That's right. The printer in question has a minor log of when it gets turned on and used.
God damn it, not this! Oh my god, Crackalack must hate me or something.
That's all it says, though. It doesn't keep track of what gets printed and by whom, which is a good thing. Imagine if someone needed to print a private document. You know, like government secrets or whatever. Karin's homework is technically a private document, you know, so that makes sense.
Alright, printer records. The printer was turned on one time at 4:10 p.m. It shuts off automatically after 1 minute of idle time.
One more thing. That printer shuts off by itself after 1 minute of inactivity to save power. That might help us with narrowing the time down. Another set of access records to ruin my life and possibly make Jurabi scream. I really wish they stopped pulling these out of nowhere. Don't look at me, defense. I don't think I would need to use this, but it's what I currently have. Unfortunately, the tickets themselves are still missing. Only the true culprit and Kami knows where they are now, so the tickets haven't turned up yet. from my understanding, the tickets themselves have a timestamp on them. If we had them, we'd know the exact time they were printed. However, if they do end up turning up, I'll have full confidence that the timestamp would corroborate my current stance. Well, no need for hypotheticals in this court. We have to make do with what we have. Defense, your cross-examination. Oh boy, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked.
Narrowing the time down. According to the clubroom access records, the defendant went to the clubroom once at 4:05 and once at 4:20. Does that like match up? I just want to make sure it matches up, because I don't know if it does. Yeah, enter. 4:05 to 4:20. Yeah, that's correct, alright. It's weird because, the printer was used at 4:10. It was turned on. And it takes 1 minute for it to like turn back off, so it's 4:12. The thing is that like, this part here, the picture, it was taken at 4:12. Taken to the break on the day of the crime at 4:12. Hanpen had a tendency to avoid Setsuna. I was just wondering if like Karin, I don't remember if Karin took that photo or not. That's the thing that's fucking me up here. So I'm like press you on this, Alvina.
I got those records as well. Looks like Karin-san was the only one who went to the clubroom.
Yeah, she went to the clubroom, so she couldn't have like taken that like picture.
But in the previous case, we found out that the access records weren't always reliable. Someone could enter alongside her and it wouldn't be logged. So suppose that happened again. Mata! During questioning, the defendant made no mention of anyone entering alongside her, or anyone around in the printing room at all. She'd have no reason to lie about this either, as her account of the event actually makes her look more suspicious. If anyone else was around, surely she would have mentioned it. Well, I can't say that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. The defendant needs to get a flash drive or something to print out her homework, so you can reasonably deduce that she went to the clubroom at 4:05 to get it. Yeah, that's probably correct, that's what she told us.
Can you clarify what you mean by this? The VIP tickets data files are stored in the school's computer database, but a personal document like homework would obviously not be on there. That means that the user must provide a data file for the homework itself, for example, by transferring it from a flash drive. Of course, since everyone's bags were in the clubroom during the practice, the defendant had to have taken an extra trip to the clubroom to retrieve it. I think this is what Karin-san told me yesterday. Nothing out of place here, I guess.
You can then reasonably deduce that she probably went back to the clubroom at 4:20 to drop off the homework and the VIP tickets off. Yeah, that's what she did.
We don't know that she had printed the VIP tickets. Where else could they be? They completely vanished. We even looked through all the trash cans around the area and everything. Most likely she had dropped off the homework and tickets together and took them home. Unless we do a search for the dorm room, we can't know for sure. Where could those tickets be?
Yeah. Therefore, she must have gone to the printing room between 4:05 and 4:20. Since the printing room is only a step away from the clubroom, she most likely was there for the whole 15 minutes. Alright, what does that mean?
15 entire minutes? What could she have been doing that for that long? Don't ask me, ask Karin-san herself. Maybe she spent some time figuring the printer out. It's not exactly a simple printer. Most people don't bother using that printer, you know. They think it's too big and unwieldy, and usually use one of the other printers. I definitely need some time to figure out that needlessly complex contraption. What's wrong with a normal printer? In any case, I can't believe that the defendant had trouble using such a convoluted device. Don't you think so? 15 whole minutes and have room for that? Somehow, that doesn't sit right with me. Please add this to testimony, witness. Alrighty.
Alright, this might be it. I figured Karin-san was in that printer room for so long because she was inexperienced with using that intricate printer. Let's see, how does the printer work exactly? It's like, it had two versions of it, right? Can print actually, no way. She knew how to use it because she printed out photos of herself, which can get used for VIP tickets and Karin's photo collection. I hope this is it. I swear to God if it isn't.
Objection! Yeah, got it! Objection! According to the witness in prosecution, this printer is rarely used much by most students, and many have difficulty with using it. Is that correct? I believe so. That should include Karin-san, I think. Sorry, but I'll have to disagree. Huh? Thing is, the defendant is one of the few people who absolutely is not experienced with using this particular printer. Defense, please elaborate for the court. The defendant works as a model for an agency. She frequently partakes in photo shoots for magazines and such. According to her, she has an affinity for printing out the photos she had taken for herself. She likes keeping a collection, see? As far as photos go, she likes printing them out on the paper, but on film. So what you're saying is...
Yeah, she would know how to use it.
That's right. This is the printer she usually uses to get her photos. It can hardly be said that Kurosawa is inexperienced with this printer, when she uses it on the regular for a photo printing collection. Idiotic! So the defendant knew how to use the printer. Clarify your point on this. You don't see what I'm getting at? I think it's pretty simple. It all has to do with the timing. Since the defendant would not have difficulty with the printer, there's going to be a lot of time that's not accounted for. If it didn't take Kurosawa that long to print her homework, then why was there 15 minutes of time between the two club rooms at the access workers' entries? There's enough time for a second person to have come and gone. That's the issue we need to figure out.
Oh my gosh, I just said it.
Boom, boom, Desuwa! Wrong! Huh? Is it Desuwa? Yeah, you got Desuwa! Wrong, 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 wrong. Boom, boom, Desuwa! Have you been paying attention to this trial at all? The printer records clearly state that the printer was only turned on and used once, by one person, during the relevant time interval. I said the defendant simply spent the 15 minutes goofing around. Your theory of a second printer user holds as much water as a thimble.
Oh, so it couldn't have been... I do think like it could be someone who doesn't know how it works.
So, how do you intend to explain this? Why haven't the printer records turned up anyone else? Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. Wrong again, you foolishly foolish fool!
She said the lie.
That's what you're trying to figure out. You need to explain this inconsistency since you're the one implying the existence of another printer user within that 15-minute time span. Well, she's not wrong. I need an explanation for this. The printer was only turned on once. Could there still have been a second user? If so, how? Somehow, this feels awfully familiar.
Familiar? How so?
Well, it depends. Let's hear your explanation. How could there have been a second printer user if the printer records only logged one entry?
Let's see. How could there have been a second printer user if the printer records only logged one entry? I'm guessing that they used the same printer before it turned off? Or... Oh, yeah, maybe it's the first printer user left the printer on, I guess. Yeah, of course, it has to be that.
You know, this is my second case, not my first. 2 months ago, I ran into this exact issue. The probability of someone accessing something without leaving a trace, even though there normally would be a log.
I might have forgotten about that. I could have sworn I pushed for that, but I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, I remember. You don't mean... Yes, it's just like back then, with the clubroom access records, with that bullshit! Get to the point. If you can say something in one sentence, do so instead of wasting the course time. Says you freaking motor mouth. We had our case about the lace bread. Amazon entered the clubroom and never left an entry, even though the clubroom door handles keep track of everyone who enters. That was because Katsumi-chan happened to exit the room at the same time. Thus, Amazon could enter the same clubroom without anyone knowing. And so, it is the defense's belief that the same thing happened here. 2 people used the printer, with only one entry. The defense believes this warrants further investigation. Don't you agree?
But if that's the case, then shouldn't Karin have noticed them? It was 1 minute. That could not have been too long after Karin left. So who entered the printer room after her? It has to be someone.
Yes, the court agrees. We don't have enough information to make a ruling yet. Yes! Mata! No! No! The printer room in question shuts off at the 1 minute final time. That fact was submitted along with the printer records. If what the defense is saying is true, then that means that someone had to have either used the printer 1 minute before the defendant did, or 1 minute after the defendant finished. However, there are no known club members who even began to approach the printer room at the relevant time, let alone within 1 minute of the defendant. No way. Well, what now? I'm not sure where to go from here. That's all I got, Yumu. That's all in the tank. Don't worry, Yu-chan. I'm here to help. Eh? I've been working hard too. I want to provide my assistance whenever possible. While you were bantering with Dia-san, I studied the printer's specs again, and I found out that... Defense, what the hell is your aide giggling about? If you have something to say, share it with the court. Hold it, my baby girl is talking right now! Your Honor, we've got a new development that I think everyone needs to hear. What is it? According to the printer specs that you will hear just provided from the internet, 1 minute is only the default time that the printer is set to shut off after. But say that the time was changed to 5 or even 10 minutes. That would be enough time for some unknown to have come and gone within that huge 15-minute interval. Idiotic! Defense, you're putting me to sleep with how amateurish your performance is. You can't be serious. She covered for this too? Don't underestimate me. Do you think I haven't accounted for this situation? I am prepared for all the possibilities in this universe and beyond. That is the Kurosawa way. I am already prepared to witness. I can testify about this exact subject.
Aishan?
No way!
It's gonna be I just know it. Fucking Christ, that doesn't fucking bugs again.
Order! 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 Oh my, looks like that was enough. Sorry, Yu-chan. My are gonna have a leg up on her. This is ridiculous. The witness is already in the waiting lobby. She's ready to go at it at a moment's notice. The prosecution calls Mifune Shioriko San to the witness stand. You almost messed that up. Very well. Bailiff! Yes, Nana! Yes, this is me, Kappa Bailiff. I am the bailiff of this last trial. Here to do my due diligence and such. Since you know Droby's not gonna do it, that told you like let's play in a while. But yeah, yes, Nana, bring in the next witness to the stand. Yes, ma'am! Witness, name and occupation, please. My name is Mifune Shioriko. Just to make sure you don't confuse me with some weird girl that, like, robs banks with a weird blue mask. I am the student council president and a member of the school idol club. Occasionally, I also volunteer at the children's center nearby, if that counts. Thank you. You were called upon due to your familiarity with the printers in the printing room. Do you have experience with the large white printer in the film function? I do. What about it? We request that you testify about the printer's automatic turn-on feature. The defense believes that the time limit was set higher than the default time for 1 minute. You are aware of the true time limit that it was set to, correct? Indeed. I'll get right on that. But, I have something important to bring up first. The maintenance workers of this school just handed me something that's probably very important to this case. And what will that be? Here.
Oh, the VIP tickets.
I'm sorry. What are those supposed to be? I can't read the text on those tiny things from over there. It's the VIP tickets. We found them under the printer. Whoa, wait, what? You found them?
Oh my god, what a cute little expression. Oh my god.
Goodness, even Dyson didn't see that one coming. Well, this is an unexpected development. I'd like to ask, the tickets have a timestamp on them, correct? What time do the tickets say they were printed? According to the tickets, they were printed at 4:15 p.m. Aha! That was right after all. That falls within the 15-minute interval that the defendant was in the printing room, like I said it would.
Okay. VIP tickets found hidden under the printer can only be printed by club members at the printing room. Were printed at 4:15 p.m. on the day of the crime. That's weird because, like, the silhouette, like, took it with her. Or them, or whatever. They took it with them. So why would the VIP tickets be under the printer? That makes no sense. I forgot to, like, mention this, but, like, I have a feeling that, like, the silhouette didn't necessarily teleport in there. I think that scene was to, like, represent what actually happened in a superficial manner. So, like, the figures somehow got there through some weird conventional means, and then printed out the tickets, and then left with them. I think that's basically what happened, not like they teleported in there. So, I'm just wondering why they left them behind. Why?
Another hurdle to try and overcome. Just my fucking luck. Ah, god damn it! In light of this new development, please testify about the tickets and where you found them, in addition to the time setting on the printer. Understood. Understood.
I mean, that's his voice meant for witness testimony. Tickets and printer.
The tickets were found wedged underneath the large white printer in question. I believe no one would ever have been able to find them. If it hadn't been for the fact that the printer was suffering mechanical issues, the maintenance team unbolted the printer for repairs and found the tickets there. The defendant must not have wanted to bring the tickets back to the practice. It was like she wanted to hide them in the printing room and come back for them later, but was unable to get them out. As for the time setting on the printer, I can confirm they were left on default 1 minute before shutting off. I can tell you one thing. 1 minute is too small of a time frame for Karin to not have noticed anyone else around the printing room and be able to share a printing session with them.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So, can you elaborate on that last part? Allow me to summarize the point. During questioning, the defendant had said that she never saw anyone coming from or going to the printing room. 1 minute's time is not enough for any potential second person to get far enough away from the printing room for her not to have noticed. If this so-called second person had a time to get further away, the two of them would not have been able to share a printing session, as the printer would have shut off between them. The printing records would then be showing 2 entries. Therefore, the only explanation is that there never was a second person. That seems to make sense to me. How about you, defense? Are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Actually, I got one question. The printing records state that the printer was turned on at 4:10. If it shuts off right after 1 minute, how could the culprit stall until 4:15 to print it? Wouldn't it have shut itself off? The printer had a special quirk about it. If a flash drive is plugged into it, the printer takes much longer to shut off. I suppose that's because it thinks you have a job for it to do, so it holds off on shutting down.
Oh, really? This is a smart printer.
Let me reiterate that the defendant is known to have brought a flash drive to the printing room. Not to mention, when the defendant was done with the printer, she must have taken her flash drive with her, meaning the printer would be back to its default 1 minute before shutting off.
Or the person who wanted to print the thing put a new drive into it before it shut down. That could be it as well.
That means the defendant could have stalled within her printing activity, but not between hers and anyone else's. My odds are looking more terrible than ever. Please, I sure hope I can turn up some useful results here. Please! Within 2 tries! I'm begging you!
Tickets and the printer, okay? The tickets were found wedged underneath the large white printer in question. I believe no one would have been able to find them. If it hadn't been for the fact that the printer was suffering mechanical issues, the maintenance team unbolted the printer for repairs and found the tickets there. That's a weird little typo. If it hadn't been for the fact that the printer was suffering mechanical issues. Crackalack, I think this is one of those dependent clauses. It's like, if it hadn't been for the fact that the printer was suffering mechanical issues, that's not a complete sentence. I feel like you should have written, if it hadn't been for the fact that the printer was suffering mechanical issues, the maintenance team unbolting the printer for repairs wouldn't have found the tickets there. I think that's what you meant to type down. I think it was an error. The defendant must have wanted to bring the tickets back to the practice. It looks like she wanted to hide them in the printing room and come back to them later, but was unable to get them out. As for the time setting on the printer, I can confirm that they were left on the default 1 minute before shutting off. I can tell you one thing, 1 minute is too small of a time frame for Karin-san to not have noticed anyone else around the printing room, and be able to share a printing session with them. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out. Hold on. Let me press her on these things. The tickets were found wedged underneath the large white printer in question. I believe no one would have been able to find them.
I thought the printer was bolted to the table. How is that possible? It's hard to tell, but the printer had a set of extremely short rubber legs. Normally, they'd help prevent it from sliding around, but since ours is bolted to the table, they don't really do anything besides raise it up to about 1 millimeter. Nonetheless, that tiny gap is enough space to slide in a pair of VIP tickets. Jury's out on how the culprit expected to retrieve them, though. I hadn't noticed the gap. Suppose that checks out.
Yeah. If it hadn't been for the fact that the printer was suffering mechanical issues, the maintenance team unbolting the printer for repairs wouldn't have found the tickets there. Okay.
If I recall correctly, that's because of the crease that the printer had been leaving on things it prints out, right? That's right. The printer had been having that issue for a while now. Naturally, the maintenance crew had to unbolt the printer from the table to perform repairs, and that's when they found the tickets. Part of me is glad that the tickets were found, and another part of me wishes they weren't. It's yet another piece of evidence against us.
Yeah. Just wondering, something about this just bugging me a little bit, like, if it hadn't been for the fact that the printer was suffering mechanical issues, the maintenance team unbolting it wouldn't have found the tickets there. But, like, why there, though? I guess, like, the kid expected to come back, it's something that's, like, sticking with me for a bit. If the defendant must have wanted to bring the tickets back to the practice, it looks like she wanted to hide them in the printing room and come back for them later, but was unable to get them out.
What What makes you say that? Doesn't it make sense? If you secretly break a rule knowingly, you'd want to keep that fact hidden. I feel that it's just natural she tried to hide the VIP ticket somewhere before returning to practice. The defendant was in her idol outfit at the time. With how revealing it is, and its lack of pockets, it wasn't feasible for her to hide the tickets on her person. She was too much of a slut! Isn't that the same thing for Ai-chan said yesterday? It is. Ai-chan also said that the motions of the practicing would have caused the tickets to fall out if Karin tried to hide them in her clothes. If Karin-san really did print those tickets, I don't doubt she would have wanted to hide them somehow.
Yeah. As for the time setting on the printer, confirmed that they were left on the fall 1 minute before setting them off. Okay.
Could it be possible that the time was adjusted by someone between then and now? No, only staff members can change the settings of the printers nowadays. Huh? Nowadays? Once upon a time, any student could change the time limit before the printer shut itself off if she wanted to. Until some ridiculous prankster thought it would be comical to change the time limit to 2 seconds. Kazumi-chan, is that you? God damn it! You always ruin everything for us! Oh my, we could hardly even navigate through the settings to change it back before the printer shut off on us. It was awful. Why are you even allowed to go down 2 seconds on that timer? Who the heck is that stingy with power? High tech my ass! Fortunately, the flash drive quirk I mentioned earlier was what saved us. We plugged the flash drive in and had enough time to turn the settings back. What a stupid printer! Remind me to never use it ever.
Yeah, still this buggy maze. Like, I feel like whoever did it must have had a drive of their own and put it in before the time limit went down. But we don't really have any evidence to like counter that, do we? Nothing related to that. There's also the camera here, but we don't really have any footage again. So we don't really know. Let's like keep going then until we figure something out. I can tell you one thing. 1 minute is too small of a time frame for Karin to not have noticed anyone else around the printing room and be able to share a printing session with them. I hold it there.
What if they ran? Like, really fast? Ran? Yeah, well, say they went, no, and got out there before Karin-san saw them. Mata, you stupid fool. If that were the case, don't you think the defendant would have hurt them?
Yeah, the hallways echo, so there's no way no one could have heard them.
But there was nothing of the sort. Right, my bad.
Okay, let me see if I can get the hint, because I'm just wondering what this could be.
Yu-chan, have you ever noticed something? There's 2 perspectives that Shioriko-chan is talking about here. What do you mean? Well, first off, Shioriko-chan is talking about the tickets being found under the printer. But not only that, she's also testifying about how any other culprit would have been able to get away in time. However, if you look closely at her testimony, I feel like she's jumping to conclusions about one of those things. See if you can nab her on that.
Okay, so either, like, the tickets being found there, right? No one would have been able to find them. No, I wonder, something's like bugging me here too. So the printer here, a non-comical model printer bolted to the table, can print film which gets used for PFP tickets and Clarence Cards photo collection. Nothing really stands out. Printer records, let me see this one first. Oh fuck, I keep, damn it. Stupid of me, I cannot believe that. I forgot about how this works. Really, this like button system is kind of like messing me up, man. I feel like you should not put present on E, to be honest, Crackalack. It's kind of fucking me up. Okay, let me see. I can't see the printer records, right? There's something bugging me here, I just don't know what it is. Like, it was like either the fact that people can't see him, right? Yeah, something about this is bugging me a little bit. Like, I'm just wondering, is it the camera? I feel like it might be the camera, but I don't know. I feel like I might fuck that up, like, again. I really wish I hadn't fucked that up the last part. I feel like it would be the camera, though. I feel like someone would have noticed if someone was there. Well, I'm not contradicting the fact that, like, the camera would have seen them. It's like, so 1 minute is too small of a time frame. We're trying to prove the fact that, like, there was a time frame with it, right? Well, this is only Karin, so it doesn't prove anything necessarily. Let me look at this again, it's confusing me a little bit. There's 2 perspectives that Shioriko's trying to talk about. What do you mean? Well, first off, Shioriko is talking about the tickets being found under the printer, yeah? But not only that, she's also testifying about how any other culprit would have been able to get away in time. Get away in time. So you was trying to say that, like, how can she say that the culprit hid the tickets under there and get away in time? Is that what they're saying? They would have... Actually, now that I think about it... Well, they could have slid the tickets underneath, though. That's the thing. Unless they can't fit the tickets underneath. Is that what we're trying to prove? Like, there's no way they would have been... Well, but how did the tickets even get there if that was the case? No, that doesn't work. I don't think that works. So, they were able to hide the tickets underneath the printer and then get away, I think. However, you look carefully at her testimony, I feel like she's jumped to conclusions about one of those things. Okay, it's either her saying the tickets were found underneath. Yeah, I think that sticks. No one would have been able to find them. Let me check to see. 1 minute is too small of a time frame for Karin to not have noticed anyone around the printing room and be able to share a printing session with them. It can't be the camera. I'm trying to think about it. I'm trying to think carefully about this. She's wrong about one of these things. Either... Let me look one more time just to make sure. Tickets being found under the printer, without being able to get away in time. So, is there a reason she thinks the person wouldn't have gotten away in time? Is that what she's saying? Why does she think this? Yeah, I think that's what we're trying to prove here. Why does she think that, like, the person wouldn't have gotten away in time? Of all things, like, what proof does she have? I'm just wondering what evidence counters this. It's gotta be one of these evidences. I think at this point in time, I'm just a little bit worried that I might fuck this up. Because this is kind of a difficult one to get through. I don't really know, particularly right off the bat. She's wrong about this somehow, I know it is. Why is she wrong? I have to prove why she is wrong. You know something? I might as well try. Yeah. Might as well just get my health back and just lose this automatically. This one has kind of left me confused a little bit, so I want to get my health back if I can. Unless I get the same health again. Like, she's wrong about one of these things, I just don't know which one it is. Fuck if they still have the same health. Okay, is it really about the tickets? Like, no one would have been able to find them? But the fact that they were found? No, like, she found them, though, that's the thing. I was like... Oh, it's her. She must have been the one who printed out those tickets. It must have been her. Cause like she must have done it for Mia and Lonzu. I think that's my theory. I think it might be Shioriko did it. Okay, it's just to prove like what she's wrong about. It's about the tickets being found there, right? I guess. I think the minute is fine. I think she could do it if she had a freaking like thing. I just trying to figure out something. I'm trying to figure out something. I just don't know what it is. I know it's one of this evidence here. I just don't know what. I'm thinking. Am I thinking about this too hard, or am I just don't get it. What is wrong with me here? It's like, I feel like this should be another case where I know what the contradiction is, but I can't even figure out what the contradiction even is. I feel like I'm constantly second guessing myself here. So, let me like read this over again. So she would printer come back later was unable to get them. Wait a minute, she must be. How does she know this too? Like she jumped to conclusions here too. She wanted to hide them. Room and come back for them later. Oh wait, but she had to go back, I think. Or, well, she came back for the whole thing, but she went for her homework and then, yeah, it just bums me out that I get stuck with this. It really does. It's like, maybe I shouldn't take it at face value. Maybe that someone could have found them. Can only be printed by club members at the printing room. Like, usually, like, if you read these, like, descriptions, it tells you if it contradicts anything. But didn't they say that she printed them... No, not that. Like, I'm trying to, like, figure out what the hidden meaning within these evidence is, because I feel like I'm just, like, missing something. I feel like at this point I would have, like, had a light bulb moment, but I have nothing yet. Unless somehow, some way, the person was in the same room as her? Maybe they were in the same room, maybe. Nope. Not that. I keep looking this up, man. I wish they had a fucking marker for when the testimony ends so I could like go right to it without having to worry about the hidden section. The map? Nope. I fucked it up again. I genuinely wish I got my health back. This has left me kinda stumped now. Actually, let me head back to the trial again. I wanna retry it. With like full health this time. Okay, so from now on, I'm actually going to save while I'm doing this stuff. I really want to just like, when I get things wrong so many times, I'll just like go back to the save where I had my full health and just get the answer right again, because that's like the one thing that's kind of annoying me about like so far like playing this, which would probably have annoyed me in the other Ace Attorney games. You can regenerate your health for some reason, which is pretty annoying. And for some reason it like transfers when you go back, which is pretty dumb in my opinion. Now what about her statement is wrong here? Tickets were found wedged underneath the large white printer in question. I believe no one would have been able to find them. And just like read through the whole thing again. Is it the gap itself? Like they... Oh, I guess like they wouldn't have no reason to do it, right? So maybe it's actually the printer that's wrong. Maybe the printer, you can actually do it. Maybe she said something else wrong and maybe you were just misleading me somehow, but I doubt that. I feel like this hard isn't wrong though. She's not wrong about that, I don't think. I guess. Why should I say that? Yeah, that part there. It must be that must be her jumping to conclusions for some reason. Doesn't it make sense? If you secretly break the rule knowingly, you want to keep the hidden fact hidden. You said she's natural, you want to hide everything. Something like this, yeah. If Karin really did print those tickets, I doubt she would want to. I don't doubt she would have wanted to hide them somehow. But what about it is wrong? I feel like this is the part where she jumps to conclusions for some reason, like to hide them. But how could she have hidden them? I'm having a feeling that maybe the villain somehow plays a part in it, like maybe the villain is too thick? That's why she couldn't have hidden it? But did they ever say that the villain is thick? Or too thick to fit underneath it? Or anything? I feel like the printer is the thing I need to counter with. I just don't know which sentence to counter it with. Yeah, the flash drive quirk. Maybe they used a flash drive. I wish I had that, but I feel like it'll be used later. The thing is, I don't like going with my gut, but I feel like the printer in that instance might tell us something. Like the film is too thick somehow, and there's no way it could have even fit there. This part, maybe it's the printer, the film with the printer. No, not that. This cannot be that hard. It cannot be that hard. Yeah, but why? Or rather, what is wrong about this statement? That's the thing about these, like, things so far. They sound so right that I cannot detect a contradiction somehow. Do I just believe everyone just doesn't lie to me or something? Is that my fault for just being so trustful and taking everything at face value? I don't know. Maybe the VIP tickets, how they look? Nope. Something is weird here. Something is fucking wrong with a statement. It's gotta be one piece of evidence that works. I don't like having to fucking pick random shit again. I don't want that to fucking happen. But I'm having a feeling it might just happen soon. No, maybe that statement isn't even... I don't get it. What is wrong with her statements? It's like, they're so watertight. I don't get it. Well, I failed again. Great. Fucking great. It cannot be this hard. Come on, I cannot be stuck. The access records? How? Records of everyone who entered and left the clubroom around the time of the crime. Those were when Karin entered the clubroom on both times. How does that work? How did that contradict it? I don't know. I just randomly picked it because I felt like it was something there. What is the explanation here? I'm trying to just calm my nerves.
That doesn't make sense. Why is that? Well, let's take a look at the clubroom access records. According to what we've talked about so far, the defendant went to the printing room between the 2 times he went to the clubroom. That is, between 4:05 and 4:20 p.m. The printer was accessed at 4:10 p.m. and the defendant dropped her homework off in her bag at the clubroom afterwards. So tell me, if she printed the tickets, why wouldn't she have just dropped them off in the clubroom?
That's what we were proving? Hold on, I want to check back her statement, actually. I want to actually make sure that was what I was countering, because... So, the defendant must not have wanted to bring the tickets back to practice. It looks like she wanted to hide them in the printing room and come back for them later, but was unable to get them out. I'm not following, to be honest. Like, my brain is already feeling tired at this point, because I can't think of a connection here.
I'm guessing that, like, we're pointing out the fact that, like, she would have no reason to put the tickets under the printer if she was already on her way to the club room? Is that it? I think that's it, actually. Like, why would she put them under the printer if she could just put them in the club room, in her bag, where all the stuff is there? No one would have thought to check her bags, I'm guessing. That's what we're arguing here. Which is, okay. I didn't think about that, to be honest. I think the biggest problem I'm having so far is the fact that, like, I don't know why, but the testimony sounds it's either two things. I'm taking the people's testimony at face value way too much and think that they're telling some modicum of truth that had no contradiction, or the contradictions aren't obvious enough or something. To me, at least. Like, I didn't think it would be this one. I thought it would be her first and last statement, but it was this one. Which is... okay. I'm not gonna get too mad at this, I'm just gonna keep going. It's something I've been noticing so far.
That's a good point. You fool! The obvious reason is because she didn't want to run the risk of bumping into anyone in the hallways or in the club room. And how do you know that? Do you have any proof of that? Naturally, it was break time. People always come and go during it. The defendant must have known this. It's a concert of life, just like death in Texas. What on earth are you talking about? What's Blob bluffing about? This time was no different. Several club members took a trip to the restroom. It's likely that the defendant assumed this and didn't want to take any chances. Yes, this is the opening I've been searching for this whole trial.
Oh, what did she say? She probably fucked something up. This time was no different. Several club members took a trip to the restroom. It's likely that the defendant assumed this and didn't want to take any chances. Okay, what is it? What's wrong here?
If that's the case, why haven't these members been questioned? Are you even listening to me? I said restroom. The restroom is nowhere near the printing room. I've already said that the defendant was the only one who headed towards the printing room. If you want to imply that one of the other members headed towards the printing room, then prove it. She's right. I got to justify my stance. What's the plan, Yu-chan? Well, I've got to produce some evidence to prove that someone else went to the printing room. It's my only chance. That's not your only option. You've also got testimony. Huh? You mean, like, calling it a witness? Defense, let's hear what your decision is. What will you do to prove that someone else went towards the printing room?
I don't have the evidence, I don't think. I think it's to call a witness.
I'd like to call a witness, Your Honor. Let's see. I better avoid calling Rina-chan. She's been thoroughly prepared by Dia-san. This witness's testimony will show that there must have been another culprit.
That would be Ai-san, right?
Defense calls Miyashita Ai to the stand. Can you clarify why? Yesterday, when talking to her, she had said that she had gone to the restroom alongside a few others. Although she made no implication that she or anyone else had headed towards the printing room, the defense would like the opportunity to confirm if this is true. There are still many unanswered questions in this case. That much is certain. The court believes that it has a duty to clear up any remaining uncertainties, whenever possible. That includes hearing all the relevant testimony. Looks like you'll get to survive a little while longer. Savor it! It won't last long, I can guarantee you this. You may have reduced our smoking gun into a smiling pile of ashes, but this is just the beginning. I'm about to pull out heavy artillery. Mark my words. Oh, hush you. I had to deal with enough bullshit already today. The defense shall be granted the opportunity to cross-examine Miyashita Ai, but before that, court shall take recess. We reconvene in 30 minutes. Adjourned!
Oh man, that fucked me up. That part fucked me up real bad. Okay. I gotta stop taking people's, like, testimonies at face value and just... It's like... I don't know what's going on with me in these testimonies, man. They just sound way too solid for me to even detect a contradiction.
May 13th, 1:40 p.m., defendant lobby! I'm still in the game. That's a good sign. After 3 tries and 30 whole minutes into one section, I'm still good. Where's Karin? I've got a few questions for her too. You calling for me? What's the matter? Karin, I've got a question for you. real quick, can you tell us what your emotions were like between 4:05 and 4:20 p.m. between the 2 times you went to the club room? After I grabbed my flash drive from the club room, I didn't go directly to the printing room. You know how the hallways there are in a big loop? I kinda took a stroll around the entire hallway. Huh? Why?
Because she had bad, direction, right?
Well, I didn't bring my map with me that day, see? I must have gotten lost along the way. The printing room is 5 meters from the club room! Oops. I really did have no clue where I was. I was taking my sweet time checking out every room to make sure I didn't miss it.
Jesus Christ, how does she even attend the school?
Well, at least that explains the time gap. I assume that means the person who printed the tickets went to the printing room before you did. Oh yeah, I remember. The printer was already on when I used it. It must have just finished being used, but like the prosecutor said, I didn't see anyone in or around the printing room. Strange. Almost as if they had disappeared.
Oh wait, really? Is it disappearing active within all this?
The printer had just finished printing something. Was there anything notable in the output tray? Nothing I can remember. Sorry about that. I suppose the tickets had already been hidden by the time I got there. Thank you. Hopefully this information comes handy down the line.
Yeah, probably will.
Yu-chan, do you think you can turn the case around with what Karin-san told you? I don't know, I got stuck once again for the umpteenth time. Oh, goddamn, this fucking shit is so hard for no reason. To be honest, I'm not sure. Our next task will be to show that someone else went to the printing room. I don't think any of that helps directly except for that time frame. You think so? Well, let's see, but I'll definitely keep that in mind. 3 things to remember. First, Karin-san arrived at the printing room later than expected because she went around the entire hallway. Second, when Karin-san arrived, the printer was already on. Third, the tickets weren't in the output tray, and were already gone by the time Karin-san got there. But how could someone have done all that and vanished without a trace?
That's a good question. Oh my god, already at the to be continued sign. That was fast. Okay, well, alright, save the game then. Maybe save this part here, just in case. Okay, guys, I think that's perfect time to end this episode off once again. Oh god, I got my ass kicked in the last part. I feel like I had a feeling that I should have looked in that part too, but I didn't think about much about it. I had a lot of trouble because I focused on the part where Yumu told me that Shioriko talked about the printer, the tickets being found under the printer, and then her talking about the fact that the 1 minute time frame. I was focused on those two because Yumu told me that she was jumping to conclusion on one of them. I didn't think it would be the one in the middle, the testimony in the middle. And that's the part that's really stumping me. It's I can't tell what the problem is, but I think it's only one of 2 things. One, I am taking the character's testimony at face value too many times, and that is screwing me over, making me believe that there is no contradiction when there actually is one. Or 2, the contradictions aren't obvious enough for me. And I don't want that to be the case because I don't want this game to be so dumb, stupid, easy. I really don't. I really hope it's the former reasoning that I'm taking these people at face value way too much when I should be doubting and putting all of their words under scrutiny. It's just that for some reason the access records and the fact that Karin could have just taken the tickets with her to the club room didn't click with me again. It's that whole thing with her directions thing with the map and all that, where I was oh, it's because of the fact that her poor sense of direction is the reason why she couldn't have driven to Akihabara. That was the reason. And that was the connection. Here is the fact that she could have just taken the tickets to the club room that I didn't think about. I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of embarrassing that I don't think about these things. It's I'm just wondering how am I going to get around this problem? Because I feel it really is a me problem, and it's my mental thinking and my problem solving skills that just don't seem to be working for some reason. I don't know. I hope this changes in the second part of this trial. I hope it does, because I kind of am interested in what the truth entails with this trial, but I don't know, I might struggle again and again and again and again in this game for some bizarre reason. I don't want that to happen. I want to enjoy it. I really do want to enjoy it and just get the answers right, but it's just, at the very least, I wasn't frustrated at it. I understood why I got things wrong. I'm just frustrated at myself for not coming to the conclusion sooner than I should have. But anyways, that's enough like being gloomy over this. I'm still having fun with the case. I just wish I could like do better with my deductions. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Gyakuten Live. If you did and would like to see more, please be sure to leave a like and a comment down in the comment section. And if you have not already, I would like for you to leave a subscribe. That would make me a very happy person. And I promise you all that this Darian will be around for the next episode. Until we meet again, guys, I bid you all a fond farewell.